Well, well, well. Well, well, well.
What's up, Tyria? This is Khai. This is going to be my first PvP video. As some of you may know, I am first and foremost a PvP player, currently on an European team called Visceral Gaming, going for the Pro League. And with the introduction of the leagues, there are more and more people trying out PvP, and sometimes they make some pretty big mistakes that are easily avoidable, but potentially catastrophic. So if you are one of the new players and you would like to improve, you would like to progress through the league system, and you would like to avoid the mistakes, then this is definitely a video you might be interested in. I'm assuming you are not a complete beginner, that you know how the game mode of conquest works and that you are familiar with the map mechanics. So yeah, let's get to the mistakes. Number 5 is stomping people that are off the point. If you killed somebody around the map, do not stomp them, just let them bleed out. If there are no allies that could potentially res them, just leave them. This way they are out of the fights for a longer period of time, and the points are ticking, so it can help you build up a lead. If you are afraid of them resing, then just keep them targeted as you are leaving. If you see that they are trying to self-rest, then just come back, auto-attack them, and this way they are kept in down state even longer. Of course, if they are a ranger, you need to stomp them because the pet will rest them in no time. Also, if they went down near a point and they are a thief or an elementalist, or maybe even a mesmer, then it's better to stomp them because they can move in down state and potentially decap you. So we don't want that happening. But other than that, leave them to bleed. Number 4 is what I call improper use of map mechanics. Let's start with an example. Yesterday I was playing a game on Temple of the Silent Storm when 8:30 happened. Tranquility appeared, the lower buff as well as the upper buff, and I went lower with one more teammate, and there were also 2 enemies there. We were having a 2v2. Keep in mind that my team had a substantial lead already built up, that we had a free cap without even capping Tranquility. What happened is the rest of my teammates also came to the lower buff. This way we lost all our capture points, and potentially we could have lost. Thankfully, we were able to capture the Tranquility buff and regain our free cap, but it was unnecessary risk. Do not ever do that. Do not open up ways for the enemy to come back. Other example could be going for the Lord on foe fire when you already have a big lead. I mean, if you go for it, you may lose your caps and you may lose the game if you don't get the Lord. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is neglecting the map mechanics is a mistake, but overcommitting to them when you don't need to is even, I'd say, a bigger mistake. So just keep that in mind. Number 3 is what I would call excessive outnumbering. What I mean by that is 3v1ing or 4v1ing an enemy. Even if you got some kills across the map, once the enemy respawns, they can easily decap your other points while you're busy killing this one guy. Just make sure, 2v1 it's enough to kill anyone. So just do not overcommit to any fight. Wait for the enemy rotation and try to match their numbers across the map, across all the nodes. And if you have the freedom to +1, then +1 if you get a kill. But don't move like a zerg. Don't keep all of your team together and do not over-rotate. Number 2 is the mistake of not kiting off the point if you are low, if you are out of cooldowns. It's completely fine to lose the cap, it's completely fine to let them decap or even full cap, as long as you don't die. If you are in trouble, just get off the node, you can seek some cover, for example here, and attack from here. If you are familiar with the maps, you can even do some more advanced... Oh, I messed that up. If you can do some... Come on, I'm trying to talk and do this. Is not the best idea. Anyway, you can even, as you can see, jump up to some higher ground, and so you can be safe there, for example here. Just make sure they can't kill you. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Dying doesn't benefit your team in the slightest. If you have to, just disengage, but do not die. Once you have your cooldowns back, once you have your health back, you can be comfortable engaging again on this point or any other. And I guess that brings us to the worst mistake that people do. And that is engaging and fighting in fights that are unwinnable. What I mean by that is, for example, let's say you're having a big team fight on middle 4v4 and one of your teammates gets stomped and is out of the fight. You are outnumbered. In that case, you shouldn't tunnel vision on getting some kills. You're most likely just gonna get team wiped if you stay there. Disengage, go to close if it needs help to reinforce it, go to far, maybe you can decap or do whatever. Just again, do not die for nothing in a fight that is not that you cannot win and that doesn't give you any points. Just give up that point and fight for other points. What I also mean by not fighting unwinnable fights is not engaging in 1v1s on capped points that you cannot decap. For example, if there's like a bunker, mesmer or whatever on the point and you engage in a 1v1, you're not gonna get that decap. So you're wasting your time, the points are ticking for your enemy. This way, your team is also at a disadvantage. So just keep that in mind. Pick your fights wisely and don't die for nothing. Disengage if you have to. I guess that was the most important tip. So guys, let me know if you liked this guide, if you have any feedback, if you would like to see any other guides on topics related to PvP. I would be glad to help you out should you have any questions. But I guess that's it for today, and I will see you next time.